What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Josh Lenhardt here with Lending and Lifestyle.
And I'm Kara Schmidt with the Kara Schmidt Real Estate Group of Elite Realty.
We've completed steps 1 through 3, and we are now on to step 4 of our home buying journey. You have an accepted offer, and we're going to talk to you today about what it means from that point until you get the keys to your house, so stay tuned. All right, so like I mentioned, you have completed all the other 3 steps, and we are now on the final stretch of our journey, actually getting you into that house.
So exciting.
So exciting. So you have an accepted offer. What do you do from there? A lot of people ask me kind of what the steps are from that point, because this is really where you start getting your hands dirty in terms of the paperwork and all the logistics, all the hoops you jump through in terms of buying a house. I say all that, it's not scary, but there is some work involved to be able to get you into that home.
The other thing is that you're glad you have a professional because we've done it a few times.
So while you're getting those first steps done with Kara, one of the first things that you're going to do with me is yourself or Kara will get me the purchase contract, the signed purchase agreement. At that point, what we're going to do is talk about if it's a good idea to lock and what that looks like, what your interest rate is going to be. Part of what I'm doing every day is monitoring the rates, making sure that we're locking you at that right time. So that's a valuable conversation to have at first. But outside of that, this is where all the biggest amount of paperwork begins. This is where you get what are called your disclosures. So you're going to be electronically signing or hand signing a whole lot of paperwork up front, basically agreeing to the terms of the loan in order to move forward. So that's the biggest piece for me in that first 1 or 2 days of once you have an accepted offer while you're getting that stuff done with Kara.
So the next step really is all about earnest money and getting that deposited, setting up escrow, and you're gonna start receiving what are called preliminary title reports from escrow. And it's basically information that you wanna know about the property, things that you just wanna pay attention to and be aware of. 9 times out of 10, it's really nothing exciting, which is good. You don't want anything exciting.
Yeah, no big surprises.
Right. Then our next step will be ordering inspections because we wanna know as much as we can about the house to ensure you're not buying a money pit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once inspections come back, it typically takes about 7 to 10 days on average. Once those come back, we read the reports together, make sure there's nothing outstanding that you wouldn't be willing to take on for yourself. So if there's a request that we need to make the seller to do a repair, then that's the time in which we negotiate that. If everything looks good and we're ready to move forward, then continuing on the process we go. At that point, we're ready to turn it back over to you for the appraisal.
So a common question I get asked is what's the difference between an inspection and an appraisal? And the easiest way I can explain it, the inspection is for your peace of mind, the appraisal is for ours. So the inspection is not required as a part of the process, but it is highly, highly, highly recommended. The appraisal, which we do require, is one of the next steps that we order. We hire somebody to go out and essentially they're determining the value of the home. We just want to make sure that the value of the property is worth what we're lending. Whereas the inspector, they're going to go into the house, into crawl spaces, into the attic. They're going to test every nook and cranny to make sure that you're protected and that the house is going to be a good purchase for you.
Exactly. All good things and everything that you want.
Absolutely. We typically want to get going with the appraisal as soon as we can. It can take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks with the appraisal, depending on the time frame. So we don't want to waste any time by not ordering that right away. But if something comes back and you're needing to hold off because you're negotiating things on the inspection, we do have the ability to put that on hold or pause while you get that negotiated. So don't worry about that either. So once we have the appraisal back, the inspection back, all the paperwork has been signed off on from the underwriter, at that point you get what's called a cleared to close. That means basically the lender has looked at everything that we need and everything has been checked off and everything is good to go. And you get your final papers sent to your title company. That is where the final signing takes place, is your title and escrow company, where you deposited that earnest money that Kara mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. And this is again one of the other fun times throughout the transaction that I get to have with you. So it's been kind of quiet because you've been talking with Josh, getting the appraisal, all the final paperwork. Now we're ready to go sign. I will schedule the appointment with the escrow officer for us to go in and sit down and sign. We'll go through all the documents, start to finish, and a lot of them will be repeats of things that you've already seen.
It'll just be essentially a set of final disclosures. So a lot of the stuff is going to be very similar to what you signed up front.
Which is good because you're going to go in knowing everything in advance. Once we complete our signing, we will wait 24 to 48 hours, depending upon the time of day in which we sign, before I can give you those coveted keys.
Because what happens once you sign the papers, they still have to be recorded with the county that you live in. Until that happens, the house isn't legally yours. And so that's why they wait to give you the keys until it's recorded with the county. So we sign at the title company, they record it with the county, and then you get to talk to Kara about getting those keys to the house.
So when I get that final phone call from the escrow officer saying, hey, we're fully funded and recorded, I get to call you and say, meet me at the house, let me give you the keys.
Oh, so exciting. The signing in general is usually a joyous occasion. We get a chance to come, and it should be a very happy time. Hopefully the process has gone smooth. As Kara mentioned, while you're waiting for appraisals and inspections and things like that, some of the process feels like a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
We demand a lot of stuff really quickly, and then we make you wait for the answers. But we're just doing everything that we can to make it as smooth and as easy as possible for you, so that when you get to that signing, you're nothing but elated to be in that house.
Kind of think of it as Christmas. You know,
Exactly.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. So there you have it. Our 4-step journey to buying a house is now complete. You got pre-approved. You talked to Kara, you searched for that house, you got the accepted offer, you went through the paperwork, you now own a home. How easy was that? How easy was that?
Right? That's what happens when you have professionals in your corner.
Exactly. But people think that home buying is a much scarier process than it really is. And we're here to answer as many questions as you have, but at the end of the day, we're here to take as much of that pressure off of you as possible so that this experience is fun, it's enjoyable, it's not stressful, it's not difficult. We're here to help you.
Exactly. There will be hurdles along the way, so don't have a misconceived idea that it's just going to be smooth sailing. I mean, there are things
difficulties,
that happen,
challenges,
things that pop up, and we will get through those, and just understand that you have people in your corner that will help you get through those. So any roadblock isn't really a roadblock, it's just a hurdle, and we'll get over it.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us on our 4 steps of our home buying journey. Feel free to like and subscribe, and as always, if you have any questions at all, leave them below. Kara and I will get back to you as soon as we can.
Like we said, there isn't a stupid question, so go ahead and fire away. We're happy to answer.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Until then. If everything looks good, we keep on cruising on through to the close.
Just start with like the last sentence. If everything looks good.
Cruising on through. We're gonna go surfing.
Okay. So if the inspections come back good.
Go lay down.
If the inspections...
Really?
As always, make sure and comment and on any part of the process, make sure and leave them below. Kara and I will make sure to get back to you as soon as we pass. None of that sounded good. None of it.
Okay, you said make sure about 60 times.
I know.
Just so you know.
Okay. Feel free to like and subscribe the channel, and it was... I hate it. I hate it.
Sorry.